Shall I talk down to people and affect the list? Obviously, very stupid. Look, man, all I ever wanted to be as a kid is a cowboy, a cop, or a soldier. Some people do have to establish your quality by not what you know, but who you are. So don't say if it's too far, you can't do it. My name is Charles Edward Stanfield. Chicago, Illinois, via Mississippi, Humboldt Park. I had gotten fired from a job, and I had the benefits of unemployment, a nice place to stay. And one day my father was going to work, and he asked me, "Boy, what you gonna do with your life?" And I said, "I don't know. I'll go back to school, hang out." He said, "Your ass better get a job." And I said, "Yes, sir." And I went to an employment agency and bought a job, and it was at the Chicago Wine Company in Niles, Illinois. And that's how I got started in the wine industry. I think people who enjoy wine are calmer, more fun people. Everybody has problems in this life. We all have problems. How you handle them, different ways. Wine for the People is a ever-changing concept on learning and enjoying wine. For average people who are interested about wine, to learn it without feeling that they were beneath somebody or somebody should tell them how to experience it. I think that a lot of times, as I mentioned earlier, wine is elitist, over-advertised, and very ill-informed. I would call myself an iconoclast. There's nothing maverick about an opinion. Everybody, good or bad, will have them. But I'm the guy who stands up and yells, "That's a lie." I was bestowed a knighthood for my work in Champagne in 2002. My title is Chevalier Ordre de Couture de Champagne. That knocked me out because I'm a Chicago guy, and when they told me they called me from Europe, and they were kind of talking about like we want to bestow a knighthood in their broken English and stuff. I basically thought they were fucking with me, and I hung up. I really did. And I went back to work, and some friends of mine from New York called to let me know that, "Charles, did somebody from France call you and talk about this great honor that they're bestowing upon you?" And I'm kind of like, somebody called, but I thought they were like goofing with me, because who do I know? I mean, I know a lot of people, but as far as somebody giving me, so who the fuck do I know? So they said, well, they were talking about a knighthood. And I said, "So?" He said, do you want it?" I said, "Yeah, of course." And they said, "Well, they thought you didn't want it because you were kind of mean to them." And I said, "Oops."
Why didn't a distributor pick him up? Why didn't a champagne house make him the brand manager? Why didn't he move up? I moved up the ranks. Why didn't Charles?
I think a lot of people who go for the sommelier test sometimes are ego-driven rather than sharing their skills with the public. At that point, when you elevate yourself up, you're not sharing opinions as much as you're issuing dictum. And then to put a point on it like you're a doctor, you'll say, "I'm a sommelier." When a few people meet a certain person who is repugnant, they don't have to blurt out, "I'm an asshole." People will know by their being.
He doesn't take kindly to bullshit. He gives you the truth and expects the same in return. He tells it like it is. I think that's where people think he can be abrasive.
Think he's being utilized in his full capabilities?
No, definitely not. No.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, he's a an expert on kosher wine. He's never used for any of the kosher tastings. He wasn't used at any of our champagne tastings last year, and the man's been knighted in champagne. So
you think he would have ever benefited if he had just stood in line and, followed orders, basically?
no. And the reason I think that is, unfortunately, he's black.
If Charles was in the champagne aisle and you were there and I were there next to him and we were all putting bottles on the shelf, they would come to you first. If maybe you would just busted a bottle and were like, oh no, they would come to me next. Thinking that you or I certainly know more than Charles. Now put how many years on that? I would want to shank someone. Old white dudes don't think that Charles Stanfield could have afforded to drink the wine that they want. It's all the marketing, the PR, everybody trying to make it glamorous. It's not that people who are actually farming and making the product. Like, met people from Burgundy who are like amazingly down to earth and, cursing and spitting and fantastic, but then the people who actually sell their products come in an Armani suit and a pinky ring and are a real pain in the ass. I mean, it's all the years of what he's been doing. It's the relationships that he's been able to forge with these houses that are some of the most elitist pricks that you could ever hope to meet, who would walk into Sam's when I worked there and wouldn't pay a lick of attention to me. But, Charles is able to forge relationships with them.
He's great with customers as far as helping them with wine selections and just being a funny guy and engaging the customer.
He's filming for.
We were doing a porno shoot earlier. It was a walk-in scene where he says,
Hey, did you order a pizza?
I believe the line was, you wanted something sweet. Something with a lot of wood.
Whenever I talk about him, he's almost like a character from a movie or a cartoon.
All right, I'll taste a little Sauvignon Blanc, and so will my friend, but then we can't buy it because we're buying beer.
You don't have to buy it.
But then I'll remember it and come here.
Pardon me, my Chicago street. Baby doll, you don't have to buy it.
He's got the Charles Stanfield swagger,
Yeah.
which is, that can only come from traveling the world and meeting all these people who've made this stuff and being wildly intelligent and intuitive.
It feels like I've done one good thing, and then to do any good thing, to me, is a lot. When you have people coming in to see you, you've done, to me, it's I've done one good thing. I want you to explore the essence of the wine first, rather than who makes it and their philosophy on it. Guiding rather than selling.
Drink an Alexis Lachine wine with any kind of food, or anytime you feel like relaxing with a drink. Alexis Lachine, fine French wines.
The wine itself, it's a never-ending, wonderful thing. If you got a good group of friends and you could enjoy a nice glass of champagne with them, I can guarantee you that there will be harmony and bliss in that room. I want people to be more realistic to themselves rather than followers or leaders, just to share and enjoy.